was like this. Alvin Kamara, he takes us to the crib. That is a 40-yard touchdown. The Saints will lead 7-0 at this point. The Vikings, they just weren't that competitive in this one. The Saints were just a better team, and they had the better player. Some would say the best player in the NFL, Alvin Kamara, with another touchdown. And Alvin Kamara ties Ernie Nevers. That's a 1929 Chicago Cardinals record for the most rushing TDs in a game with 6. Shout out to that man who got busy. 52-33. Saints, they are now 11-4.
Great game. All right, how about up to Seattle, where the Seahawks are looking to clinch the division? 2020 has been a tough year. And how about Russell Wilson paying homage to Kobe Bryant? Mamba mentality right there. But it's the Rams and Goff right here who would suffer a little bit of a blow right here. Watch Jared Goff's right thumb hit on Benson Mayoya's helmet, and it dislocated it, Kyle. You ever popped it right back in. Sure. He's a tough boy from Cal Berkeley. All right, let's go to the fourth quarter. Russell Wilson looking for Jacob Hollister, Kyle's favorite clothing brand.
Love it.
13-yard touchdown. The Seahawks clinch the division. They get the T-shirts and the hats.
They get the hats. What did Tampa Bay get? They get the Lions. This was, I think, the least competitive game we've seen all year in any week. I mean, this was nothing.
Detroit and holidays don't go well.
No, it's tough. It's so cold in the D. How are we supposed to make peace? Or guard Rob Gronkowski. That was vintage Gronkian. Those big old mitts of his and those giant feet just sprawling all over, drawing in for a touchdown. And then 6-0. We're going to go up top to Big Mike. And listen, the rest of the game was just completely inconsequential. There was a Blaine Gabbert sighting. Brady was sat down, which doesn't happen to him much in his career. They absolutely destroyed the Detroit Lions, Nate, who are clearly in car shipping mode. There are a lot of changes coming in Detroit. The head coach, maybe the front office, who knows, the quarterback. 47-7. Afterwards, Tom Brady, after his near-perfect half of football, I mean, the best half he's ever played in his career.
10 wins get you something this year in the NFL, which gets you a spot in the playoffs. There's going to be a bunch of teams that make it this year, and there's only going to be one team that ends up happy. So the more time we can spend improving as a team, improving as a quarterback that I need to do, then the better it is for us. And we're committed to being the best we could be. And I know at different times we haven't played the way that we're capable of playing. And when we do play the way we're capable of playing, we're pretty tough to beat.
Brady and the Bucs clinch a playoff berth with that blowout win over the Lions. It's the first time Tampa Bay's been back to postseason, been in the postseason, guys, since 2007. 2007 was the last time. The Seahawks also came up with a crucial win to clinch the NFC West. After what you saw in Week 16, guys, who would you rather have in the playoffs this season? Tom Brady or Russell Wilson?
Okay. That's a tough one. I mean, look, Tom Brady he's so clutch, right? And Joe Montana was his hero. So I would take him if it weren't for the fact that we took him down, right? And we proved the way to beat Tom Brady.
What are you talking about, Shaun? What game? No one knows. What do you mean?
2007 team, Super Bowl 42. Maybe you've heard of it.
Oh, they were 18-0 and you guys beat them? It's incredible.
Right? You said a perfect first half?
Yes.
Well, I'll take Russell Wilson all day long because of the mobility.
All day long.
And the one thing that I think, you can't game plan for. Defensively, if you're the coordinator and you call up the perfect blitz, you can have somebody honed right in on Russell Wilson and he finds the back door. He finds a way to make plays with his legs, and that's something that Tom Brady can't do. So while Brady's great from the pocket, you can find a way to slow him down. You can find a way to disrupt him. Russell just seems so much better at ad-libbing, and in the playoffs, you're playing the best defenses in the league. So at some point, your quarterback's going to have to find a way to make a play on the move. I'll take dangerous.
Yeah, if I'm going QB for QB, I would go Russell Wilson too. I'm just a big fan of, like you said, him be able to make magic in the pocket. I feel like Russell Wilson has the best pocket presence in NFL history. I will stand on that. But when it comes to the complete team, I'm going with the Buccaneers. And what I've seen recently is that what they struggle to figure out, they're starting to gain that chemistry. And this was one of the biggest questions we had. One, when Tom signed with the Buccaneers in this weird offseason that was 2020, will he have enough time to become a student of the playbook and then also allow the skill players to learn on the same pace as him? He was figuring that out during the season. And then when Antonio Brown came, it was like, all right, you benching Scotty Miller, you're forcing the ball on Antonio. It just doesn't seem like this is going to work. The last couple of weeks, it's working. And what do we say? It's all about heating up at the right time. And it seems like they are gaining that chemistry that could be the key to them making a magical Super Bowl run in the city that they play in. So to answer your question a very long-winded way, because he has more skilled players that are finally starting to get on the same page as him, I'm going with Buccaneers, which is, it's tough for me to say because I'm just such a huge Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf fan.
Imagine having the luxury in your broadcasting career that you could just casually pull out that you beat the 18-0 Tom Brady team whenever you feel like.
Right.
Shaun just did that so casually, and that's so cool. It was so sexy, Shaun. It was amazing.
You brought it out of me.
It turned me on. I like it. To that note, though, I'm going to go with the guy who you beat that day. Listen, I'm going with Brady. Nate, you said the Ravens don't let the Ravens get hot. We've been saying that about the Bucs since March, I think, when they got Brady, and then they got Gronk, and they got Fournette, and they got Shady. Like, please just keep this team calm and discombobulated without chemistry. What we saw against the Lions, like, I hate that if I'm on the Packers or if I'm on the Saints. Now, you say it's against the Lions, they're playing the season out, sure.
With an interim head coach.
With a double interim. Listen, I don't want to see Gronkowski doing this stuff. I don't want to see Mike Evans in the end. I want this team to remain with no chemistry and figuring themselves out.
Antonio Brown scoring touchdowns.
They're all back weeks. I don't want to see this. They've won 3 in a row. It's the classic getting it together at the right time. Just look around. Never mind standings for a second. I know we're infatuated with standings right now because it matters about ticket punching.
Go ahead.
Never mind the standings. Look who's playing well now in the NFC. And I'm talking the Bucs, the Packers, not even necessarily sure the Saints. They had a little toe stub. The Bears, like, just look who is playing their best football now. And it's like if the Bucs got out to this big bloated record, and let's say they started 9-0 and just were front runners, but they're starting to fall apart now, they'll get picked off easily. They're playing well now, and it terrifies me. Like, this could be the table flipping team. The Seahawks. It looks like many Seahawks teams that I've seen where they're good and then maybe they win a playoff game. The defense is playing better. The Bucs might have the special stuff. I don't want to see them. I would go with Brady.
You know what they do have, too, to go with Brady? If you want to go deep in the playoffs, you've got to have some guys that get after the quarterback.
Yeah,
JPP,
they got that.
Shaq Barrett, and then Devin White. Just, I mean, he's had a monster couple of weeks. So that aspect could help them out, too, Kim.
Yeah, and listen, one thing Brady did take with him from New England to Tampa is play your best football after Thanksgiving. It wasn't that easy for them, but they certainly are playing their best football now, several weeks after Thanksgiving. It feels like 3 months after Thanksgiving.
Let's give Tom Brady credit, too, because he had a plan. He was like, look, I could either play games in November and December up in the New England area, where I'm freezing my what's off, or I could go down to Tampa with all the other snowbirds and play in the warm weather.
He's a snowbird
this was orchestrated.
Now. He's a snowbird now.
This feels great. This is the best his body's ever felt.
That's a good point.
At this point in the season.
You stole my JPP point, by the way, but I like it. Back in the Pro Bowl for the first time since 2012, he is a remarkable story. He truly is some of it's been self-inflicted, but he has overcome, and he is absolutely remarkable. The broken neck last year. Bruce Arians said to me on Zoom, he thought that would end his career. You think he's done? He might have 9 lives.
Down with JPP.
Yep, you certainly were as a teammate. Absolutely. Well, what play made you jump off the couch